Video time, Prosperity Priestess. You know what I do? Hop on and get live. Because it's real. I be having these thoughts, and I'm like, well, why don't you document it? You know, there's plenty of people who are going through these things as well. Why don't you really show that there's ways to win out here? Ooh, there's ways to fight back. There's ways to protect yourself and your family from these fraudulent people and their gang stalking and their systems that they utilize and put together. Boom. CPS knocked on the door today. Ooh. Alright. This is going to be the fourth time they come at me. Guess what? What'd that tell you? And the last situation, they were like, oh, it's founded. Like, you lying. And I just found out how to, I still got to counteract. I was already counteracting that. Now I have more things I could do towards that. And it's going to happen. But this is how it works, you know, when you have the people, they understand what level you're operating at, these entities. And when you start using certain words and saying certain things, this is why they waited till 2 days after school is over. School is over on the 18th. Now it's the 20th. Because they already know I'm going to holler at the Department of Education. The New York State Department of Education. Hold on, let me make sure I say this right. New York State Division of Human Rights. They probably didn't know that part. Nah, yo, these are real crimes that I have real documentation of you committing against my child and me. I got documentation on top of documentation. 149, those are some of my numbers. I stay with receipts. Virgo. But the point is, I remember last time they did this. Whoo, go to goosebumps. Because why? Because the housing authority, where I lived at for 8.5 years, the housing authority, they tried to charge me fees I didn't owe. Why? Because I walked in there, I had a job, I had a construction job, I was making bank, yo. And I walked in there and I had to show my checks. This bitch behind the counter was pissed. I'm showing you a check for 1 week and that shit's more than you made all month. This bitch mad as fuck. Like, who the fuck does this brown Nubian little short hair bitch think she is? She over here getting money? I know, because I see it. It's the same thing when I go. I remember I went to the. I'm going to get back to that story. Hold on. You know, I like to keep it entertaining and go back and forth. And it's not even that I'm trying to entertain. This is how it happens. These are the thoughts. I see the connection. So, walk with me. You got to surf these waves. I remember going into the bank. And I was like, oh, totally different story. I'm like, oh, I want, what kind of accounts can I have? I want to make sure I got the protection fee draft. Bloop, 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 bloop. So she pulls out the sheet. She's showing me. And I was like, okay, I'm reading it. And I'm like, okay, I'll take this one. This fucking bitch gonna say, well, in order to have that account, you have to make at least $1,500 a month. Bitch, I'm making $1,500 a check. What the fuck is you talking about? But she don't know that. She don't know that. Oh. But it's like just the audacity you just showed me my options on paper. I just fucking read them, looked at it. I'm looking at them, comparing them. I say, I want this one. I see what it says. You have to make a certain amount per month. And it wasn't that what you're supposed to do is say, okay, take the paperwork and start filing shit. Ask me to provide a check. And that ends all of that. You wouldn't understand if you did your fucking job. You would understand why I chose that one. Because I clearly qualify for that. Just because you work at the bank and you don't qualify for that, because you work at the bank full time and you don't make